There are those who would argue that a show is refined and genteel and delicate, as Voca Vacay need not stoop to the level of talk about let's poop in a hole, but Buttercup, hang on. When you travel and when you go anywhere, there's germies, there's buggies and whatnot, and all sorts of skeevy little stuff that can infect you, make you sick, and even worse. This week on Voca Vacay, we talk about let's poop in a hole. That over there is Marie.
That's Frank.
And we're going to get to let's poop in a hole right now on Voca Vacay.
Prepare yourself for the bestest, amazingest, and overall super duperest travel program in the history of ever. Vacation like it's your job and live vicariously through yourself. It's time now for Voca Vacay.
Okay, I want to start this one because this is a particularly sensitive issue for moi.
Oh, come on.
Well, it is.
Really?
Yes, because look, when I have to go to the bathroom every time, I have to sit and physically touch things. That's just how I'm made up.
Oh.
You have the luxury of standing.
I can stand. It's a lovely thing, by the way, to know that, trees were invented basically for the sole purpose of me going out and standing outside. The neighbors are about to phone call somebody too. But anyway, yeah, so you want to start this because, it's a little bit more, I think the scientific word is skeevish.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the bathroom, I have to have like a checklist in my head of what I'm touching, what I'm not touching, like how I'm going to like keep a barrier between myself and what I have at my disposal to use, and then like wash my hands, don't touch the door only with the paper towel. Like it's like a whole, and it's very stressful. It's very stressful.
If you've ever seen the end of the movie The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio trying to leave the bathroom, that's what it's like. And that's just at home. Wait until you start traveling. And then, I won't even get to airplane bathrooms, airport bathrooms, high, traffic, high velocity there. But we have other things, other facets of travel where you're taking what we're doing right now, just going to the bathroom on a daily basis, but ramping that up and literally pooping in a hole.
Yeah. So there are levels to this, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's home bathroom use, which you're pretty comfortable with. You got your nice scented soaps that you use on the daily. And you're like, it's like you're like literally. Okay. I will say this.
Yes.
I have a pee alarm.
Oh, what? You went there.
When I come home, my first thing that I do is stop off at the bathroom.
There you go.
I come home from work.
That's natural.
The pee alarm goes off.
That's natural.
Yes,
That's
you're
natural.
like, I'm
That's
home.
Fine. That's fine.
I will mark my territory in my house again. I live here. This is mine. This space is mine. I'm going.
Yes.
Okay. So there's that.
Okay.
And that's all the comforts that you're used to. Then there's like, the outdoor, out of your house, outside area, restaurant, mall.
Like a place you've been to frequently enough to be like
times
that.
in
That's
your
where
area.
the bathroom is.
Yes.
We're good with this. Okay, there's the towels and where the hand.
And you have a different protocol there where you're like, okay, I'm out. You have to use their sort of like standard like industrial soaps, and you're just like, it's good, I'm clean, but it's not like a comforting situation. Mm-hmm. And then you have your travel situation where you're like, now you're ramped up even a little bit more from just going to like your favorite restaurant. And you're like, I'm in an airport or a lobby somewhere in the rental car lobby. You're like, no one touch me. Don't come within 6 feet of me. It's exactly like COVID. I was very prepared for COVID, by the way.
For COVID, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. But it is like that where you're like, okay, now there's like so much high traffic and so much like, there's so many different germs from different people that I'm like, no. And, no.
No.
And then there's the bathrooms where in other countries that you've visited some places and you're like, okay, the bathrooms are different. Then there's a whole other level of different.
Yeah, and the level of different we're talking about is the level that is sans water.
Yes.
It's a hole in the ground.
Yes, it is.
Literally.
So let me set this up for us.
Okay.
We are in Lithuania.
Yes.
It was the first time that I encountered this. Mm-hmm. And we are on a bus that has to stop to do a mandatory rest stop for the passengers, but also to like gas up and do some things. We're like traveling across the country, and lo and behold, I have to pee.
Yes.
As you do. And so it's like what was their currency? A lat?
Yeah, at the time it was now they're on the euro now.
Yeah,
but
was
back
one.
in the day,
It was one whatever it was.
yeah, one like a buck or whatever. But given the conversion rate, it costs less than $1.
Right, and so you take your one
lat,
whatever, and then you take it, you put it, you give it. There's actually like attendants most of the time. You give it to the attendant. The person lets you in. You open the door, and there is not a toilet. Is the first sign that you're like, this is different.
You paid too much. You paid way too much for this privilege. You could go around the building, around the bus station.
And so,
oh my gosh,
it was very jarring, but I had to pee. So you start like doing a mental, like you start mentally geometry in your head. Like you're like, where do things go? Where do feet be? Like, how do I place my feet? What am I like? What? There are 2 places for your feet on each side of the hole. So you figure that out first.
Okay.
Then you look up and there's like a rope to hold on to.
Okay. Let me interject here. She's this is a time sensitive thing because she has to go. We're pulling into the bus stop. She's like, I gotta go. We're going. And so it's not like the nice, oh, let me examine this. And oh, my feet would go here. And here's the, no, she's in a hurry.
I'm scrambling. It's a scramble.
It's a
to
mad
pee.
dash to make this happen. Okay. I'm sorry to interject, but I just got to set the scene. Go.
Yeah. And so I start to realize I need to pop a squat. That's what's about to happen. Now, look, I'm from West Virginia. I'm not above popping a good squat. I've gone in the woods. I've spent a lot of time camping. It's not like, I'm highfalutin, okay? And so I'm like, I got this. I'm in a hurry, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
And then I go. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I wash my hands and do all the stuff after I get out. On the way back to the bus, it dawns on me. Oh my God, that was way more sanitary than sitting on a toilet where I have to take out the obligatory 5 inches of toilet paper, place it around the seat strategically, 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches, 5 inches, and then I can sit down.
Yeah.
Or because, most places don't have seat covers.
Right.
Or if they have a seat cover, use a seat cover. Takes time. I'm sitting here doing the pee dance while I'm trying to put down a seat cover. This was like, put feet here, grab rope, squat. And I was like, oh my God, it's both scary and genius.
Okay, well, as we praise the hover squat of Eastern Europe, let's point something out. One, Lithuania is a wonderful place, and so this isn't everywhere in Lithuania because it's one of our favorite countries.
Oh, yeah.
It's just great. And the other thing about this is the advanced tonality of your thigh muscles just to be suspended. I know you got a rope to hold on to, but I just got to go. I'm not auditioning for Cirque du Soleil, okay? I just...
Truth.
By way of comparison, I went into mine, it's like, hold the ground, done, walk out.
It leads you to then make the leap to, what would it have been like if I had to do something more advanced?
More advanced.
You would have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because this is just, so like you said, it's not just Lithuania. Lithuania's lovely. We loved it there. Then after traveling there, we then saw it was in all these other countries. So we were like, oh, and then we started reading about it, and we wanted to talk about it because we don't want you guys to be freaked out. This is just the way of the world in other places. A lot of places actually.
Yeah.
Probably more places than with modern modern plumbing and
look, there are fewer people.
You could say this better than me.
There are fewer people on the planet that flush their toilets than those who don't flush. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Did I phrase that right? It's like the flushing of the toilets is a wonderful sound. And in fact, let's talk about the history of the toilet for a moment, shall we?
Please.
Let's go into that. Then we'll talk about the other countries we've been to that have been similar nightmares. But we've got to get this history going because it's like a toilet, the flushing. Such a happy sound. This is, who invented the toilet?
No, I have no idea.
His name is Crapper.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Englishman Thomas Crapper.
Of course.
He worked on, they're not toilets, they're water closets. And that's something else when you travel. You look for the WC.
Yes.
That is water closet. Don't ask for the bathroom.
Right.
They don't know what the bathroom is.
Right.
Toilet, maybe. Water closet, every time.
Yes.
And so in America, we're like, where's the John? They don't. It doesn't work that way. So Thomas Crapper worked on the indoor water closet in the late 1800s. He holds 9 patents in plumbing, and this includes things like the floating ball cock.
Okay.
Because someone had to invent a ball cock that floats, and might as well be Crapper, and he did it.
And that's literally the reason it works.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
Genius.
got a sinking ball cock, the whole scenario just falls apart.
That's something you'll never say again, by the way.
What, ball cock?
Sinking ball cock.
No, absolutely not.
Just for this show.
Unless you're playing billiards, and that's a totally different thing. One theory is that the word crap, and crap is now a word that you can say, and it's okay. Crap comes from World War I U.S. soldiers. They went over there, and when they went to the bathroom, they went to the crapper because Thomas Crapper's name was on the toilets.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, oh, you gotta go to the crapper and all that. But here's the problem with that theory. Way before that, the Dutch word, those pesky Dutch, the word crappen with a K means
the crappen.
the clappen. It means to separate.
Oh.
And even predating that, in Old French, crappa with a C means waste or rejected matter.
Oh.
But here's the deal. If a person named Thomas Crapper has influenced your life with the floating ball cock, that means you have a flushable toilet and you're able to flush. And a lot of people on the planet cannot even have that luxury.
Wow. I feel really privileged.
Yeah. So it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Next time you're there doing number 1 or number 2, just be happy that you're there.
Well, my dad used to joke all the time when we would like look for houses, if we were like, let's look and see if there's any cool houses, like if we ever move or whatever. And he'd be like, oh, look, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. They're indoor outhouses. Because, again, West Virginia, country folk, So having this luxury is like, and I think that's why we have such a sense of comfort. Like when we're at home and we're like, oh, that's my bathroom. That's like, because, if you're married,
yes,
as people often are,
yes, dear,
you often claim your bathroom.
Yeah, your bathroom was one right next to the bedroom. That's
right, because I got to pee in the middle of the night. And then I gave you the obligatory upstairs extra guest room bathroom and said, go big, go for
it. And can we explain something about my bathroom here just before, the marriage counseling kicks in? I want to point out that as much as I love the bathroom, 1, I've got to walk all the way upstairs to go to the bathroom. And number 2, some of your stuff is still in there.
Well,
you have Q-tips. What
yeah. I assume that you would need the same things I need, so I put them up there.
My entire life, I've never had the need for a cotton ball. I've gone decades without saying a cotton ball would be useful. No, you buy by the ton.
You can use my bathroom.
You can use these cotton balls. Take them downstairs. Okay. So we're blessed and privileged with multiple bathrooms, which is a good thing. Yeah. However, and let's go back to Lithuania because sometimes you are pooping a hole. But as you were saying before, Marie, that is not the only country. We have been in countries otherwise exact same scenario.
Yes. In fact, we were in Ireland a couple of times, and the first time we, I guess, didn't use like many outdoor water closets.
Right.
We were always like in a hotel or doing whatever. And then we were on a trip. It was the last time we went. We were on a trip and there was just, they have them in, they look like food trucks. They're just little buildings.
Yeah.
And it's water closet. They have them designated by gender, men on the left, women on the right.
Yeah.
And so you go to your obligatory side. And at this particular one, it was because it was near a park, I remember. And this particular one, it was the same way. And I was like, oh, even in Ireland. But before that, we had seen them in Turkey.
Yep.
And then we had also seen them in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So it seems to be like more Eastern European, working that way across the globe. And then like just for environmental reasons and to be green in some other places that just are like, oh, this would just work better here because then we don't have to run a whole lot of like water or electricity to it.
Yeah, look, there are some positives to it. 1, hygienically, sure, if you're doing the old hover squat thing, you're not making physical contact. I get that. Number 2, you are saving water.
Yeah.
Because the flush equation is just right out the door. Now, they do smell a little bit eau de funk. So I'm being delicate.
Yes, you are. So they have a distinct odor. But you know what? There are a lot of places, even at airports. Like, I'm like, it is stinky in here. Like, but that's just because that's like life. Like,
yeah, that's communal funk.
Yeah. So I would say my suggestion for our Voca Vacayers is when I travel and I have my little like, go around bag with me, I usually put in there some like napkins or some like tissues.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when you have to go and you're traveling, they've run out. They don't restock them.
Yeah.
And so for women, that's really important because, you
Yeah.
know, we're like, you know.
Never go into a bathroom while traveling.
Yeah.
With the assumption that there's going to be hand sanitizer,
Right.
soap, or toilet paper.
Right.
Just don't, or the little toilet barrier sheet things, or what
seat covers.
Seat cover. Just assume the worst.
Yes. So I take like those things, hand sanitizer, tissues, napkins.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you want to just like not have to smell so much, like, you know, because girls travel mostly with like little sprays and like little things that smell good. Like just, you know.
You would spray a bathroom?
No, but I'm just saying if it was really, really, really bad to where I had to go, but it was like nauseating.
Okay.
I would have to figure out some way to like get over that. Look, when you're traveling, you don't know what you're going to come up against.
No. Oh, gosh.
There could be like it's the only bathroom for 6 more hours and it's rank. Like you could just be like, and so I have to go, but clearly this is, you know.
And let's explain. We're doing, and I'll come back to the Lithuania trip. I'll circle back to that. We're going from Klaipėda to Vilnius. And if you know your Lithuanian geography, and you should, they're opposite sides of the country. Klaipėda's on the west coast. Vilnius is far east, and we stopped. I think Kaunas was the name of the town.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was the only stop.
Right.
And the bus we were on, I don't think it had restrooms available. You're stopping there,
no.
and you're paying for the privilege, and then you're getting back on the bus. And it was a quick little bus stop too.
Yes.
It wasn't like, hey, we're all going to have a smoke. It's like, a 30-minute break. It's like, no, you're in it. We're in and out in 5 minutes, maybe 10.
Yeah,
and I'm being generous.
That leads me to remember. I'm going to write this down on my handy dandy.
Handy dandy notebook.
Yeah.
What you got?
We should talk about different buses.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well, so that our viewers and our listeners can hear about the different buses as well. But yeah, this one was a definite, there was no, because we've been on buses where they do have toilets.
Oh yeah.
And they have little coffee machines. Anyway, this was a definite, no luxury.
No frills.
Stop, pop a squat, and go.
And here's the deal, and there are different bus lines throughout, and I don't want to pick on the bus line we were on, but it was a bare bones one because our reading knowledge of Lithuanian is 0.
Right.
And it's like, that one's going to Vilnius. We could make that on the travel map, and boom, we just went.
Yeah.
So, it happens. But one of the reasons we're talking about this is because when we're getting into these health safety, and we shouldn't make fun of it because people, E. coli and all these are nasty little bugs. You don't want to catch them. You seriously don't want to catch them when you're out of the country and you don't speak the language. That's a whole nother level of problems.
Yes.
However, there are some things we should talk about, and I'm going to defer to Marie here, the lovely and talented Marie, because if you look at my college transcripts, I went to college more than once. I took one science class. I'm the only person I know who went to college and only took science once, and that was a 3-week astronomy class. I got totally past the science requirement.
Oh my God.
It is a scam that they gave me a diploma. It really is. Talk about cheating the system. However, there are some people in this room, not me, thank God, but Marie actually took science, biology, anatomy. You took classes like that.
I have an associate's degree. With all of the science classes that I took. It's an associate in science.
Yes.
In general education with a concentration in human biology.
Yeah.
Human biology.
So the upshot of it is she knows more about germs and overall function. She's the Purell police officer of this abode. But when we get to these nasty things, because we're talking about washing hands here, and there's a whole lot of diseases I can't pronounce. I will try a couple of these, but I'm going to hand off to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because once you do whatever you do, number 1, number 2, whatever level that you're at, you need to wash your hands to prevent things like Campylobacter.
Okay, I believe this one's Campylobacter.
Ah, cool. We were close.
And then Enterococcus.
Ew, that's nasty.
E. coli.
E. coli.
That's the one everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Salmonella.
Right.
Shigella.
Ew.
Staphylococcus.
Ooh.
Streptococcus.
You just made that up. Really?
God, I wish I had. I'd be rich.
Yeah, really. Good word.
Some of these I've never seen before. I'm really glad that you looked these up because now I'm kind of really curious, especially about this Yersinia bacteria.
That sounds nasty.
Okay, we know norovirus, rotavirus.
Yep.
Hepatitis A. Hepatitis E.
Yeah. That's if you don't wash your hands.
Oh my God.
That's just the starters kit.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to pooping in a hole in remote places, Marie and I, in the past, and we're still going to do this again.
Yeah.
We have done primitive camping.
Sure.
where we go camp and we put everything on. And primitive camping, it's not the KOA background or campground. This is where you put everything in the backpack and you just wander in the wilderness and you come out a couple days later horrified that you went that long without plumbing.
I was like, sounds safe.
It sounds safe.
Living on the edge.
Our food is in a bear-proof container. Let's go now.
It's such a good idea.
Do you have all that DEET for the mosquitoes, honey? What about the murder hornets? Anyway, so we decided, yeah, let's go camping. And so we did this one on the Appalachian Trail, and there are people who have walked the entire Appalachian Trail. God bless you. I don't know how you did it. I don't know what job you had that would allow you to do that, but you're a stud.
And the ones that speed walk it or speed hike it.
Really?
Oh, they're like the real like bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like they just like speed through it. They take like one change of clothes and like power bars, and then they're like off. And I'm like, whoa, like that is like crazy.
Okay, cable TV was invented for a reason, so you wouldn't have to do that. But good for them. Seriously, I can't do it, but we have dipped our toes into this. We have gone primitive camping.
Sure.
We've done it a couple of times. We were in, was this Georgia or North Carolina? I forget where we were.
Georgia?
But
North Georgia.
We're in North Georgia, south of North Carolina. Look on the map, and I did not confuse you because it makes sense. Darn it.
Go geography. Woo!
This is math. So,
math is power.
Anyway, we went out for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I how do we phrase this? I did not go.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about
We went
this.
on a trip, and there was it was a no-go zone for me. And here's the deal. We brought a little shovel, a little trowel, so we can dig the hole. And it's not like there's a lot of people around. You're in the middle of nowhere. There's no one near you. I mean, it's just
you
like,
should have like you should feel very like number one with Mother Nature,
Yeah.
and number two, very private, because there's no one around, and you're like, oh, the angelic sound,
I can't hit that note. Oh, the dog just cried.
I am one with nature.
Yeah, and you should be able to do it because it's like Mel Gibson. I'll be going, freedom, when you do these things. Because there's no one around, and you can pee or poop or whatever for the next 6,000 square miles. That didn't happen. For some reason, me as a guy, I could do the standing position. I could not do the number 2 advanced position. You can hold on to a tree. Not going to happen. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Well, thankfully we're only out there for a few days. Or you would have had it. It would have had to have happened. So I can tell you, based on my associate's degree, scientifically, eventually, you would have had to have gone.
Gravity and nature is going to come a call. I will end this conversation at this point by saying there's a Burger King in remote North Carolina or Georgia, wherever it was, but there's a Burger King. Yeah, I mean, thank God they had hazmat suits to go in after me because it was brutality. I left up behind a CSI scene. I feel bad for these guys.
They were like, well, shutting down till lunch. Need to do a good thorough cleaning. That Barnes guy was in here.
I'm so sorry. Hang my head in shame with that little Burger King, paper crown on my head. But so here's the deal. So anyway, once you do whatever you're going to do, once you travel, you do the indoor toilets, the outdoor toilets. If you, like our title says, you poop in a hole, everything is good. But now we come to what we call the discussion, the argument part of our program.
Yes.
Where we decide, and if you've ever argued on a vacation, if you've ever bickered on a vacay or something like that.
Never.
Sometimes you just got to settle someone's hash. Let's go ahead and do that now.
All right,
We're going to talk about it right now.
It's game on. It's time for Monica versus Joey.
Okay, let's hash this out right now. Some people are simply more efficient at getting clean after using the facilities, and I happen to be one of these many people. So there's nothing gross or disgusting about my habits of washing my hands.
People are gross.
No. Let's harken back to the heady days of Friends, that great NBC series where you had 2 totally different people. One was Joey, and Joey, hey, he's washing his hands. How you doing? And he does a thing. He washes his hands. He's good. And then there was Monica, who's a little bit of an obsessive clean freak.
I love it.
Oh.
I'm such a Monica. I love clean things. And you're just a regular guy.
A regular guy. Let's talk about after we have used la toilette, hand washing becomes an imperative. And let's take Purell out of the equation. Now we're just going to wash our hands.
Okay.
Soap, water, done. let's not disagree that you should or should not do this because you ought to be washing your hands anyway.
Well, yeah.
It's a matter of efficiency. Now, for those of us who didn't take the classes in human biology and pronounce the big medical terms, soap, water, rinse, air dry, walk out the door, ding, fries are done. I'm a happy guy. What say you, Monica?
I am a tad different.
A tad?
I am into the whole, like, I have a routine. If we are out, here's my routine. Let me just walk you through.
It's a regimen. It's not a routine. It's a regimen.
Well, that's a good word in my opinion, because it's kept me healthy and clean and a germaphobe, but that's okay. I'm willing to deal with that. But no, like if I go to the bathroom out, if we're at a restaurant or whatever, I go up. First thing I do is, you go, and then you come out of the stall, and then the first thing I do is at the paper towel dispenser. I get the paper towel already down, so it's like chicka chicka chicka. It makes that sound just like that, chicka chicka chicka.
That's a happy sound.
And the paper towel, comes out.
Now it's hanging down by like a foot or two. Sure.
And then I turn on the faucet. Then I get the soap. And I get enough soap so that I get a good lather. Like I want all this lather around my hands.
Are you like even doing like under your nails and like scrubbing in for surgery here? I mean,
maybe not surgery, but so you get a good lather, and then you take your nails. You take your one hand, like your left hand flat,
right,
and you take your right hand and you kind of just scrub like this a little bit. Like what I'm doing is just rubbing my nail bed over, like in my palm.
You seriously do this?
Yes, and then I do it on the other hand.
I've never done that in my life.
Oh yeah, this is how I wash my hands.
Really?
Because it moves the soap, the lather around up under your fingernails and also around your nail. Here's the thing. Your nails are some of the grossest, your nail beds are the grossest, one of the grossest things on your body.
I'm not touching
Don't touch
you.
me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
So anyway, so if you can get it around your nails, that's really, really grand. That's what you got to do, because that's the funky part. Stuff gets up under there. That's why they say not to bite your nails.
Oh, I chew mine religiously.
Oh, you would chew your fingers down to nubs.
I do. I will. I don't care. I'm good at that.
So anyway.
It's my only bad habit.
This regimen would help if you have that habit to keep your mouth cleaner from biting your nails. But so anyway, I get a good lather, I do my nails, and then I wash for about 20 to 30 seconds. I do it a little longer.
Oh my God.
It's like 20, because if we're out, I want to be clean.
Wow.
Then I take the paper towel, rip it off, dry my hands. Then I take that paper towel in my hands and turn off the faucet.
Oh, wow.
Then I use that same paper towel in my hand to open the door. And then I try if the receptacle, the trash bin is not near the door, I try and do a hook shot. Whoosh.
Okay.
Or I'll just throw it away in a trash bin outside of the bathroom. Now, here's what I love that people have caught on over time. They now have these little things at the bottom of the doors that you put your foot on to pull the door open.
Is that what that's for?
Yes, so that you don't touch the door. Because if you touch the door, you've already, cross-contamination. You've already cross-contaminated getting out of the bathroom after you've washed your hands. And then a lot of places, the bathroom door will swing outward instead of inward. So that, and it doesn't have a handle. It's more like an operating room door where you just walk through. Oh, I love this.
Holy moly.
Sometimes I judge a place. Well, a lot of the times I judge a place just by its bathroom, but sometimes I judge it just by the bathroom door.
I judge a place by whether it has Taco Bell on the outside of the restaurant. If it's that or Waffle House, I'm in. Okay.
All right, Joey, tell me what you do.
Okay, I come out of, whatever I'm doing. Let's say I've done something in advance, so we can be equivocal on this.
Sure.
Or equal. One of two things going to happen. First thing, you said the first thing you do is you pull the paper towels. First thing I do, I either cry or scream a victory screech, depending on how it worked out for me personally. So if you're in the bathroom next to me, you hear somebody go, Wolverines! That was me. That was totally me.
My husband, everyone. Proud to say.
Love you, honey. So now we're going to go, okay. I go right to the sink. It never occurred to me to do the paper towels first.
Oh.
I do this. Hands go in water. If there's soap, I do it once.
Oh, is that just like that?
That's the sound it makes. It's
Perfect.
like a loogie. I go and I go la, 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 and I make sure soap goes all over. I do not count to 20. I don't count.
Oh,
I just make sure the soap goes wherever, and it's like I don't do the nail beds grinding into the palm. It's like rinse, rinse, rinse.
I don't grind.
Shut off faucets with wet hands.
Oh, okay.
And then to ruin the next guy's day with wet hand, now I'm going to the towel thing. Shunk, 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 pull that, dry my hands, and then I take said paper towel, which is now damp. If I want to be nice to the next guy, I'll dry off the wet hand paper towel thingy that I just pulled with my wet hands. I'll dry that off. Boy, I've really just polluted the whole thing.
You have really just, and you've made it so much worse on the people that have to clean the bathroom. There's like water everywhere. There's like, because there's just like drippy stuff everywhere. Oh.
You're literally getting skeeved out. If you're watching, I know you're listening to the podcast. If you're watching this on video or whatever, you're seeing her. Just, oh my God, there's that face that I love. Really, I'm so sorry. No, that's just how I do it.
No, that's okay. Here's the thing. You are not uncommon.
Yeah.
I would say 99% of the
Most dudes do
population
this.
does that.
A lot of guys don't do this, by the way. A lot of guys just like, good, ding, fries are done, check the hair, walk out.
Well, and look, I have a lot of people in my family that are in healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the healthcare peeps.
Yep.
You guys, I understand it's a hard job, and I'm super appreciative of what you do. But because of knowing so much about what they do, I know a little bit about cross-contamination and germs. Now, I will say this, though. I've had conversations with people in my family, and they're like, you take it a bit far.
Yeah.
Even they're like, it's a bit much. Because germs are just around us.
Oh, sure.
They're just part of, like, human flora. Like, they're just, like, around.
I think
and
whatever
you can't be in fear of them, but
whatever your comfort level is, I think you're going to be fine with. If you're not washing your hands yet, goober, one, you should, and two, you're never going to get a second date. So just don't.
Well, and now with COVID, you really have to.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you were like...
Everyone's more aware now.
Let me tell you about this bar I used to hang out at.
Wait, what?
Oh, I have a whole past.
Was this before I showed up?
I was young once.
What?
I was cool and happening. No, I used to go like sometimes to this bar, and there was this particular bar had the bathroom. It was like a big like room, and then the bathrooms were in the back. But the bathrooms only had the toilets in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sink was outside in the main room in between the two bathroom doors. So like men's, women's, and then there's like the sink outside.
I have seen a situation like that before.
You would see who did not wash their hands. Oh. And people would get irate. They'd be like, I saw you, go wash your hands. And then, it was funny actually, because then you could berate people all night while you were drinking, which is like, sport. That's a sporty, fun thing to do.
Or call Uber immediately if it's a date.
Right, exactly.
She took an Uber. Can I point out one thing before we get to our next segment? And this is absolutely true because I lived in Texas for a couple of years. And the great thing about Texas is that if you're a guy, if you go to a bar or a restaurant or something like that, a lot of things they do is that for guys, it's not a urinal, it's a trough.
Oh.
It's a trough and it's filled with ice.
Oh, yeah.
So now it becomes a sport.
Fun.
Time to go melt some cubes. And you do. I'm not making this up.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
However, there are things.
No.
Okay, so we got to wash hands, wash them, find your comfort level. And after COVID, I think everybody's a lot more aware of that, use the soap.
Yeah.
Don't just wave them in the air as if you just do not care. However, there are things that we got to do. One of our favorite parts of the program here is that there are travel nuggets. There are little things that we do to make sure that you have a great experience. So should we talk about the travel nugget now?
Yes.
It is time now for this episode's Voca Vacay Travel Nugget.
Ooh, I like a good travel nugget.
Oh, travel nuggets. Tasty, tasty travel nuggets. We have been to a number of museums worldwide.
Oh, I love a good museum.
And there are museums that are just lovely to go to. However, there is one we have not been to yet. So we're taking this on faith and internet research that this is actually a thing, but it seems to be a thing. And we want to, this is at the top of my list now. In Kiev, Ukraine. All right.
You.
Yes.
Have a background. You are Ukrainian.
So
when we get to visit this place, this is a great thing to do.
Something I really want to go there. One, Ukraine, because it's heritage stop for me. And number two, because it has the official internationally recognized Museum of Toilet History. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just playing the song that I would play.
Okay. Why would it be specifically in Ukraine? This is like the funniest thing. Like when they have museums of things, there's usually some sort of history or
There's
like
a
whatever.
reason why.
Yeah, this one does not sound like that.
Yeah, like Maryland or Florida is going to have the history of nautical fishing or something because that's where it goes. But apparently Kiev, Ukraine in 2006, mind you.
Kiev or Kiev?
I say Kiev, but some say Kiev.
Kiev.
Kiev?
I think so.
Kiev?
Kiev.
Kiev.
Okay.
Kiev. In 2006, a Ukrainian couple in Kiev, and they're a married couple, they work in plumbing. And they said, you know what? We have so much stuff laying around. Let's build the largest collection of souvenir toilet bowls in the world. The Museum of Toilet History, I swear I'm not making this up. It has urinals, toilets, squatting pans, and chamber pots.
Whoa.
A chamber pot would solve so many of today's problems if you just brought back the good old chamber pot.
I disagree.
Oh, I agree heartily, because then I just lay off the side of the bed, do a hook shot, go back to bed. I'm still nice and toasty.
Oh.
I'm in the bed. It's a chamber pot.
Some of them are really pretty, though. Like I've seen like in movies and stuff.
Oh,
Some of them are like porcelain and
the
like,
old-fashioned ones.
decorated and painted and like I don't know. I think some of them were made of hard metal too, though.
You could tell the status of a man by the quality of his chamber pot.
But you know what they used to do?
What? Use chamber pots? I know.
I know, but then they would just dump them out the windows. Like it was like this was like hard times, man. Like this is not the kind of world I want to live in.
Yeah, well,
I'm really happy that we live in modern times.
It is. If you want to go, and you should, if you want to go museumtoilet.com.ua, museumtoilet, one word, .com.ua, that's where you find the Museum of Toilet History.
Wow.
And this is actually on my short list of things to do. 1, Easter Island. 2, North Pole. 3, Himalayas. And 4, Museum of Toilet History. In that order.
Your brain just like amazes me. Like I'm going to do these things and then Museum of Toilets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be really funny in my obituary. He died walking out of the Museum of Toilet History, and you'll just say, he died a happy man doing what he wanted to do. Thank you. Okay.
Well, I'm just curious as to how many of our listeners and viewers of our YouTube post are Voca Vacayers, if you will. How many of them would want to go to see this? I think we should do a poll.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to put up a poll on our social media. I'll do a poll.
Do you want to go to a museum of toilet history? But I almost feel like we need to compare it to, like, would you rather go to Museum of Toilet History or the Smithsonian?
Some people would be like, toilet history, for sure.
Yeah, I would. Smithsonian.
Some people, a.k.a. my husband.
Apparently my wife would like to go to the Louvre.
The Louvre.
One of us has been to the Louvre and one has not gone. Guess which one has not gone to the Louvre?
They had wonderful toilets.
I'm sure they did. That's enough of that nonsense. Now we come across, you know, as we do a ponderous amount of research for this program, as always, we come across sometimes the most inconceivable things in travel news. It's the kind of thing that makes you say, what the holy guacamole?
What the holy guacamole are you talking about?
What the holy guacamole indeed. Let's talk about Tom Stuker. You know who Tom Stuker is?
I have no idea.
He's the points guy.
Oh,
He's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy.
Shut the front door.
Stop. What the holy guacamole? Tom Stuker is
the
guy. He has flown more miles on a plane. I guess there might be a pilot or an astronaut. Well, I guess you'd be on the space station. Okay, you fly miles just on the daily because you're just floating around and orbiting. He has flown more miles than anybody on the planet.
But he's literally the guy, the website,
the points guy. Yeah, he's the guy.
Stop.
Tom Stuker.
That is so cool.
He lives in Jersey. Yeah. Jersey.
I'm sure they appreciate your take on their
Jersey. Yeah. I cannot say that name of that state without going into the Three Stooges.
Right, I know.
Anyway, he is
classic.
It's classic. Do you know how many miles this guy has flown?
No.
21 million miles.
Stop.
He was about to hit the 22 million mile threshold when COVID started shutting down the aviation airline, the number of flights, because obviously COVID shut down a whole bunch of flights. This guy was on track literally for 22 million miles.
I am literally
21 million plus.
Just totally. That is amazing. I am so taken aback by that.
Yeah, that is, to put this in perspective, that is about 850 times around the equator.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just circling the planet. He will, and he's done this before, he flies to Australia or Japan for one night, then he flies back.
That's nuts.
He likes to fly. It's not the destination. It's literally the experience. It's not the destination. I mean, the destination is a nice thing.
Okay, wait. Does he like to fly because he likes to fly? Or he likes the accoutrement as a passenger?
Oh, well, that's the thing. At his level, he gets all the accoutrement you can possibly get.
Sure.
Because here's the deal. What he does is that he only flies on United.
Okay.
So he's not a Southwest Delta American kind of guy. He flies on United.
Sure.
He has been to Australia 350 times.
Stop.
350 times. And he has mega upgrade status. Apparently, there's something called the Polaris Lounge.
Oh my God. We'll never know what that is.
I get upgraded to Delta Comfort, and I'm like, whoa!
Where they have really nice bathrooms, by the way.
Absolutely. This guy, these must be the most angelic hollowed halls of bathrooms ever, the Polaris Lounge.
Wow.
But he gets all the upgrades that you can possibly imagine. And here's the amazing thing. He pays for his flights out of pocket.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't roll his miles, but he gives his miles away.
Stop. Where does he give? Who?
Family, friends, not us, but we'll make a call. But yeah, so he did 21 million miles.
I'm finding him on Facebook now.
Oh
friend,
my
friend,
gosh.
friend. I want to be a friend. I want some miles.
We got to interview him for the show. We really
man,
do.
that'd be great. I'll write that down.
That is the cliffs of insanity, where you can literally do 21 million miles. Apparently, he's the nicest guy. I've seen him interact with people before. He is very nice to the flight attendants. He's genuinely a decent person who has happened to flown more than all of us combined.
So wait, if we did interview him, what would you focus on? Like, I want to know if when he just goes to Australia and then stays a night and then leaves, he doesn't do anything there. Yeah. Like, has he ever stayed somewhere long term?
Oh, I'm sure he has.
And then what places those would be, because I want to know what he likes. Like, I think to me, this is like fascinating. Like, yeah.
But that's what this guy does.
Wow.
He's a 65-year-old guy from Jersey. Sorry, again.
That is
again with the Jersey.
That is so interesting though, because I actually, on the one hand, I really do. I understand the lure of being like, okay, I have a lot of status with this airline. I have a lot of points. I'm going to get on. I'm going to be upgraded immediately. There is some like allure to being like, I'm just going to fly a lot.
Yeah.
And so I understand.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. But then I get somewhere and I'm like, I don't want to leave for 2 weeks. I want to see everything.
I know.
Like the Museum of Toilets.
Yeah. Where go to Kyiv, Ukraine, and check out the crapper display. So, but yeah, this is totally the guy. So check that out sometime. But that's cool. A lot of fun. So I love that. And hopefully when you listen to this program, you're watching on the YouTube channel, you didn't say, let's poop in a hole. Oh, how gross. No, seriously. We want you to be safe. We want you to be clean, because it's awful to get sick from bad hygiene when you're at home. If you're traveling, one, you've ruined the trip. Two, now you're sick. You got to go find someone to cure you. You've got to go to the pharmacy. You got to do all sorts of weird stuff.
Truth.
And it's just like you don't plan a vacation around getting, dysentery or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we want you to take care of yourselves out there.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Sounds good to me.
All right, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about poop.
I'm tired of listening about poop. Hey, thanks for checking out Voca Vacay. As always, remember to keep up with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and the Instagrams. We will see you in a fortnight. And remember, wash your hands, right?
That's right, 20 to 30 seconds.
Love ya, miss ya, mean it. Bye.
Don't forget to click subscribe. As always, #Voca Vacay at Voca Vacay and visit VocaVacay.com.